So, but you commented on black murder, which we don't. I don't believe black on black crime is a thing. Do you believe it's a thing?
Yeah.
Why do you believe black on black? Because some would say it's crime is it's all based on proximity.
All right,
So
guys, let's get into this topic right here. As you can see in the title and in that little clip right there, we're going to be watching this interview with Charleston White, where he sat there and basically denied that there's no such thing as black on black violence. So, but before we get into the interview, I want to share something with you guys for context because Charleston White is going to bring it up in the beginning part of this interview. And that was the reason that this individual, I really don't know his name, brought up that question of, hey, do you believe in black on black violence? Because I don't. So I'm going to play a news clip for you guys here, and then we'll get right into it.
Another violent weekend in Chicago with nearly 50 people shot as of this morning, including several teenagers.
And all of this over the first full weekend of summer break for Chicago public schools. CBS 2's Marissa Perlman is live in the newsroom breaking down what we know so far. Marissa, I mean, this sparks a lot of concern heading into the full summer.
That's right. Good morning to both of you. And it's only been a few days since CPS classes ended for the year, and the numbers are frankly hard to hear. 18 of those shootings happened just overnight. 49 people shot, 9 of them dead, and of those 49, we now know 8 of them are under the age of 18. Now, one city councilman wants to enforce a new curfew for teens downtown after all of this violence. Now, one of the latest shootings we're following this morning. One person is dead and another is hurt after a shooting in Little Village. It happened around 8:30 last night. Police say officers found a 23-year-old man shot multiple times. This is near 31st and Pulaski. He died at the hospital. Another man was shot in the stomach and is now in critical condition. Police did find a weapon at the scene. They believe the man who died may have gotten into a shootout with another person who ran away. Right now, no one is in custody. And then on Friday, 2 teens and a 12-year-old boy were hurt in a pair of shootings in Douglas near 31st Street Beach. Police say someone opened fire from a car, hitting the 12-year-old who was walking with a group of people. A 15-year-old girl was sitting in the car. And then less than an hour later, a 16-year-old boy was shot just a half a mile away from here in a fast food restaurant parking lot. This is off South King Drive. Now Alderman Brian Hopkins plans to introduce a new 8 p.m. curfew proposal for anyone under 18 in the Central Business District. He says we've been seeing an increase in violence in the Loop, Mag Mile, and Streeterville over the last month or so, and this is a result of that. Now, teens attending city events like Lollapalooza or NASCAR, or those with jobs and work in the city, would be exempt from this curfew proposal, which Hopkins says he will introduce to City Council this coming Wednesday. Live in the newsroom.
Yeah, so you seen that, right? There you have it, right? It's right there in full context. Can't misinterpret it. So we're gonna watch this interview where this guy right here brings up black on black violence, and he believes that it doesn't exist. And I just want to share that news clip because this is what Charleston is gonna reference to when he said, hey, that, Chicago just had a horrible weekend, and that was the weekend right there. So let's get right into it.
Because I think our place in being a humanitarian to the world is important, but Congo, like there's a whole world of people in Congo being killed that look like us that aren't being talked about on the news, and we're not sending aid that I know of.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Chicago just had a horrible weekend. Philadelphia is having warlike murders, men amongst the kids.
So your thought is take care of home first. With
Yeah,
with
man,
all our
Memphis
resources.
just had a big shootout 2 weeks ago where people, man, we got that shit here amongst the niggas, but it's the niggas though. It ain't the blacks it's the ignorant niggas, the gangster niggas, kids, the poor nigga babies, the woman, yeah. So it's easy to send aid over there and ignore aid that you can give here locally.
So do you think that's the frustration that younger people or people now in America have with Joe Biden because they see him sending the aid there but don't see the change happening in their community?
Heck nah.
And what
they want,
send
the
to-
younger people now want aid being sent to to Hamas and Gaza. That's another topic. It's not the reason the young voters turning away from Joe Biden is not because he could help America, because we all know Democrats are not America first. It's because they want them to either stop funding Israel or fund Hamas because they're more marginalized is what they claim. I don't have an opinion on any of that. This is not the topic of this video, but yeah.
Ukraine, they could wipe out all of our student loans with no problem. With all the aid they just sent to Ukraine alone. But you got people here still suffering. Man, you got people here who get denied food stamps because they $10 over what the requirement says. So there's no aid here for America. So how can all this aid be given and we have just as many people dying here, if not from gun violence, from fentanyl overdoses? Just as many.
So, but you commented on black murder, which I don't believe black on black crime is a thing. Do you believe it's a thing?
Yeah.
Why do you believe black on black? Because some would say crime is all based on proximity.
Show me where the Jews killing each other. Show me where the Asians going to jail for murder, and they got Asian gangs. Show me where there's a big population of Asians in California. There are Asian Crips, Asian Bloods, Asian gang. Show me where a big population of Asians in jail. You can't. Show me a big population of white people killing white people. You can't. But this is a country of guns.
Well, only when they go in school and shoot up kids and say it's not terrorism.
But they classify that as a mass shooting. They
and if that's what you're going to classify as white-on-white violence, the percentage of a mass school shooting happening is very, very rare. The type of mass shootings that's shown on the media. The mass shooting that occur on a daily basis is not reported on the news. But if you go to the UCR, it will tell you on there that most of these shootings are classified as mass shootings, and most of them are committed by blacks on blacks in these inner city neighborhoods. So that's still not a valid point, and it's crazy that he pointed that up because that just shows you the brainwashing that has been done by the mainstream media.
Gun violence, but it's mass shooting because mass people are being shot in one instance, but they don't classify ours as mass shooting.
Well, where do you think that comes from, though? Because, again, I'm not one to say everything goes back to white people, but lack of investing
it comes back to us because they see we don't care. If we cared if we cared the same about black people shooting black people that we did police shootings, then they would respond to black shootings the way they do police shootings. They try to give us resources and they try to find alternative solutions after a police shooting occurred. They literally put everything on hold. Come on, we got to hear from our blacks. But that's only during a police shooting. Then we act like nothing else bothers us but police shootings. Only thing that bothers black people in America is a white police officer killing a black person. Other than that, nothing bothers us. Because we don't cry, we don't complain, we don't march, we don't ride, and we don't tear up shit until that happens.
Facts.
So why would anybody care about that? They don't.
Why do you think we're not consistent in the fight for a better life or for a better community?
It starts at home. I think our problem starts watching mom and her sisters, mom and her brothers, grandmama treating this one kind of way compared to this one. Materialism. I think materialism is what got us to this point. Mm-hmm. Having a color TV, having furniture, having clothes, having shoes. I think materialism superseded everything.
Yeah.
And you don't believe karma is a real thing?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, they don't talk about anything else based on that topic after that. But there you have it. Right, there you have it. Just denial of reality. And that was the point of this video, because you can never solve an issue if you're denying that it's happening. It's really, truly unbelievable to me that there's some people that actually believe that black on black crime is not a problem. If you just look at the pure data and statistics, you would know that more than 50% of the violent crime is committed by 13% of the population, and then more than 50% of those victims of those violent crimes are black victims perpetrated by a black criminal. So don't get mad at the messenger. Just look at the data and the numbers. And that will tell you the full story right there. So, of course, black on black crime exists. That's that's where we want to avoid moving to or going to, is the black neighborhood, right? Of course, it's stigmatized, but hey, that's where most of the violence happens, and that's the neighborhoods that you want to avoid. Neighborhoods that in the area that I live in, the neighborhoods that you want to avoid going to, there's probably about 3 or 4 of them, and they're all black. I mean, there's not. You can ask anybody in this city, hey, what neighborhoods do you want to avoid if you come to Dallas? And they'll name them off. Boom, 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 boom. They're all black neighborhoods. Nobody's gonna name off, hey, what neighborhoods should I avoid that's predominantly white? There's no answer to that. And I live in one of the top 5 biggest cities in America. So it's not like I'm just in the middle of nowhere. This is one of the biggest cities in America and one of the fastest growing cities in America. So take that into context and if you want to figure out where I'm at. But yeah, so, and that goes for any major city. If you ask anybody just randomly, if you're just visiting the town and say, hey, which neighborhood should I avoid? They'll tell you, let's just say, for example, I'm sure they're going to say Compton or Inglewood or South Central. Majority black. Hey, where should I avoid if I go to Tennessee? Memphis. Where should I avoid if I go to Missouri? St. Louis. Where should I avoid if I go to, I don't know, Chicago or Illinois? Chicago. I mean, they're all predominantly black. It's wild that people deny that reality. But the more you deny the reality, the less likelihood of you fixing the situation. And the guy asked a great question. I wish Charleston White answered it. But he said something like, what can we do as far as people not, investing in opportunities in these neighborhoods? Or that wasn't exactly, but that's what he was trying to say. Well, it's because of the crime. People in those neighborhoods also don't hold each other accountable. They have that whole no snitching rule, and people don't want to tell on who the murderer is living down the street because, I don't know, for some whatever odd reason. It doesn't matter. At that point, it really doesn't matter. Why are you even allowing a murderer to walk the streets free? If you know who did it, why not say something? It's crazy. But that's the problem there. Why would any business come and invest into a neighborhood where it's crime-ridden? It's really that simple. Look at the stories that's going on in Chicago. I mean, in Oakland. You got businesses closing down left and right. Why? Because of crime. The businesses are scared for their employees, their customers, people, cars getting broke into as they're shopping. Bro, I mean, it's really not rocket science. I don't understand, what people don't get about this. You get rid of crime, you solve most of your problems. I promise you. That's really the first step into anything. That is, if you want step 1 on how to improve your neighborhood and communities, lock up the criminals. It don't matter who they are, put race out the window. We all know who's committing them. Get them locked up, get them out the way. Your neighborhood's gonna be safer, your kids are gonna be safer, schools are gonna be better. What schools do you want to avoid sending your kids to? The black schools. Why? Bro, it's really not that hard. I don't understand. We can keep going on and on and on about this nonsense. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this interview here with Charleston. Let's talk about it in the comment section. Hit the like button down below. And of course, if you enjoy the content, hit the subscribe button with that notification bell. See you on the next one, guys. Peace.